When was the last time you felt it? That moment when the universe paused, when everything, the light, the air, your heartbeat, fell into a kind of rhythm, like the world whispered your name. And for a second, life felt aligned. You didn't plan it. You couldn't explain it. But it was real. And then, just as quickly, it was gone. Other times, it's the opposite. Days drag, cycles repeat. You're stuck in the same loop, wondering why nothing changes, even when you're trying. But what if neither of these moments, the flow or the friction, were random? What if your life was already being shaped by something invisible, something ancient, precise, powerful, not fate, not luck, but a code, a living pattern running quietly in the background of your reality? And here's the part no one told you. You already have at least one of these codes active inside you, right now. But you were never given the instruction manual, never shown the way to recognize it or to use it, because this world taught you to memorize math and maps, but not how to listen to your soul, not how to move with the rhythms that shape time, energy, and destiny. So you've been trying to fix your life with tools that don't reach the level where it's actually being created. But what if I told you the codes are real? That your energy field, your choices, your sense of time, are all guided by ancient forces, frequencies, and truths that mystics and civilizations once lived by? Not superstition, not fantasy, but a sacred technology of consciousness, buried beneath your routines. And once you become aware of it, you no longer move through life on autopilot. You begin to see the map. And more importantly, you start to remember who you are. Today, you're going to remember. There are 4 sacred codes, 4 ancient keys that unlock everything. How you move through time, how you hold and transmit energy, how you shape and respond to reality, and how you embody your personal essence. These are not tips, not affirmations. They are the architecture of your existence. And once you see them, you can never unsee them. You'll realize that the universe was never against you. It was always communicating, always responding to what you were emitting. Because life isn't a script written by someone else. It's a mirror of the codes you've either forgotten or finally chosen to awaken. So if you've ever felt like time was slipping, like your energy was leaking, like reality was heavy, or like your gift was locked away, then stay, because you're not here by accident. And the first code will awaken is the code of time. Not the ticking of clocks, but the rhythm of your soul. Are you ready? You were born into a world of instructions. Be productive, be efficient, be logical, obey the rules, trust only what can be seen and measured. And somewhere along the way, you believed it. You believed that the world outside had all the answers, that safety comes from structure, that reality is fixed, like a machine you just have to learn to operate. But no one told you this machine is alive, that underneath your habits, your choices, even your failures, there's something else moving, something older than science and more accurate than math. An operating system, not made of code and wires, but of vibration and memory. Call it energy, call it the soul's software. Call it the divine pattern that breathes behind the visible world. It doesn't matter what name you use. What matters is this. You've been trying to edit your life from the surface without realizing the script was being run from beneath it. Because reality doesn't begin with action, it begins with alignment. Alignment with the 4 codes that govern your consciousness. The time code, which shapes how presence bends reality. The energy code, which transmits your frequency into the field. The reality code, which projects your beliefs into form. And the personal code, which carries your soul's hidden gift. These codes are not fantasy. They are found in every sacred tradition that ever existed. The Egyptians mapped time as sacred cycles, not ticking clocks. The Vedics called it Kala, time as a living force. The Hermeticists said, as above, so below, meaning the inner creates the outer. The Kabbalists found 72 names of God, each one a frequency. The Andeans speak of Kose, the living energy of all things. And modern science, it tells us that everything at its core is vibration. So what does that mean for you? It means this. You've already used these codes before, without knowing it. That moment when you lost track of time and deep joy, time code. The day someone walked into the room and changed the mood without a word, energy code. The time you visualized something, and then it happened, reality code. The memory of what lit you up as a child, so effortless it didn't feel like effort, personal code. These weren't coincidences. They were activations, whispers from the soul. But in the noise of modern life, you forgot how to listen. You learned how to chase, hustle, and strive. But you never learned how to tune in. That's what this journey is for, to help you remember the deeper operating system that was always running, to help you become conscious of the power you've already felt, but couldn't yet name. Because these codes don't require belief, they require presence. They were never about controlling life. They were always about cooperating with it, from the inside out. And now we begin with the first gate, the code of time, not the time on your calendar, but the sacred time your soul already remembers. Time was never just about clocks. Long before digital calendars and countdown apps, time was considered a living spirit. Something you felt, not just measured, something sacred. In ancient Greece, they named it in two forms. Chronos, the time of schedules, numbers, deadlines, and Chyros, the time of alignment, flow, and divine timing. Chronos is what you see on your watch. Chyros is what you feel in your bones when something is meant to happen. One is mechanical, the other is mythic. And here's the truth most people never hear. Your life isn't running on just one time system. It's running on both, simultaneously. When you live only in Chronos, life becomes a to-do list. Every moment feels like a countdown to the next task. You produce, you strive, you tick boxes, but inside, you feel like something is missing. That's not failure. That's your soul trying to whisper, you were meant to live in rhythm, not in rush. You felt Chyros before. That moment when you're so immersed in a conversation, hours vanish. When you hear a song and time seems to pause. When you're creating, praying, dancing, and everything clicks. That's not just flow. That's sacred time revealing itself. That's you entering the oracle's portal. Because Chyros isn't just spiritual, it's deeply personal. It's the part of time that listens to your frequency, not your schedule. And here's the paradox. The more you try to control time, the more it slips through your fingers. But the moment you surrender into presence, time begins to bend. It stretches in meaning. It compresses in synchronicity. It aligns. Have you ever met someone at the exact moment you needed them? Found the right words without planning? Changed direction without warning, and it turned out to be the perfect move? That's not luck. That's Chyros. That's the time code, briefly pulsing through your life. And now the question becomes, can you learn to recognize it before it passes? Can you stay long enough to enter it on purpose? Because once you do, everything changes. Not because you got more hours, but because you discovered how to live within the sacred rhythm that was always there. There are two kinds of time, but only one of them holds the key to your soul's rhythm. Chronos is the time of the modern world. Seconds, minutes, deadlines, schedules. It's linear, relentless, mechanical. You wake up, work, perform, rest, repeat. You need it, yes. But when your entire life is lived inside Chronos, your spirit begins to suffocate. Because Chronos is not designed for meaning, it's designed for measurement. You can achieve under Chronos, but you cannot awaken in it. That's why so many people feel empty, even when they're successful. They've mastered the calendar, but forgotten the rhythm. That rhythm belongs to Chyros. Chyros is sacred time. It doesn't tick, it emerges. It shows up in the stillness between actions, in the quiet hum of something bigger aligning behind the scenes. In Chyros, time doesn't pass, it opens. And when it does, your mind, body, and soul all say the same thing. This is it. Be here. You've felt it in moments that defy logic. A stranger's words changing your life. A chance encounter that rewrites your path. A creative burst that seems to come from nowhere. In these moments, you are not in time. You are in timelessness. That's Chyros. That's the time code, responding to your inner frequency. Ancient traditions live by this. In ancient Egypt, time wasn't linear, it was cyclical, aligned with the stars. In India, the Kala of the Vedas was not a clock, but a living energy, something you dance with, not dominate. In Andean wisdom, time spirals, like the path of the moon, the echo of seasons. They knew what we've forgotten. That time is not a line to race through. It's a field to be entered, and you can only enter it through presence. Not thinking about the next thing, not worrying about the last, but landing fully in this breath, this heartbeat, this now. That's the secret. Chronos requires control, but Kairos demands presence. You can't force sacred time to arrive, but you can clear space for it. And when you do, it responds every single time. Because time isn't just passing by, it's waiting to align with the rhythm of your soul. The portal is already open. The question is, will you step through? Because entering Kairos, sacred time, doesn't require a ceremony. It doesn't need candles or chants or ancient temples. It just needs presence. And presence begins with pausing. In a world obsessed with motion, stillness becomes a revolution, and stillness is where Kairos reveals itself. So here's how to activate the time code in your real life. 1. Breathe with intention, not shallow survival breaths, but conscious ones. Try this right now. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Feel how time softens, how your body re-enters the now. This is not a hack. It's a sacred recalibration. Every intentional breath is a doorway back to the soul. 2. Create ritual, not routine. Routines numb, but rituals anchor. Light a candle before writing. Sit in silence before eating. Sip your tea without checking a single screen. These small sacred acts transform Chronos into Kairos, because ritual is time made holy. 3. Let flow lead draw. Dance, speak, journal, walk. Do anything that makes time disappear. Don't ask how it's useful, ask how it feels. Because when you lose track of time, you often find a piece of yourself you forgot. 4. Enter nature's rhythm. The moon never rushes, the trees never panic, the ocean never sets alarms. Walk barefoot, watch a sunrise in silence. Listen to the rain without distraction. The natural world already lives in Chyros, and when you're with it, you remember that you do too. 5. Practice soulful listening. The next time you speak with someone, don't listen to respond. Listen like nothing else exists. Let their words wash over you like a tide. You'll feel it, that moment when time slows and you're no longer counting minutes. You're sharing presence. And the truth is this: every time you return to presence, you bend time. You soften its grip. You enter the space where synchronicity is born. Because the most powerful moments of your life, the love, the epiphanies, the healing, never happened on a schedule. They arrived when you were open. And now you don't have to wait for them to find you. You can choose to meet them in Chyros, in the now. Time is not the enemy, it's the mirror of your awareness. So take a breath and enter the portal. Have you ever walked into a room and felt something? No one said a word, but the air was heavy, or light, or tense, or electric. That was the field. And whether you knew it or not, you have one too. You are not just skin and thought. You are a broadcasting station, emitting a signal 24/7. And the world responds not to what you say, but to what you vibrate. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people are leaking energy every day without knowing it. They wake up tired, scroll through chaos, surround themselves with noise, and wonder why life feels heavy. They think their problems are outside of them, but their field is filled with static. The ancients never forgot this. They knew the body is just one layer of being. The Hindus called it prana, the life force. The Chinese knew it as qi. The Andeans revered kosai, the living sacred energy in all things. And today, science agrees. At the most fundamental level, everything is energy. That includes your thoughts, your emotions, your words, your environment, your food, your friends, your music, your home. Every choice either lifts your frequency or lowers it. So ask yourself honestly, what are you vibrating when no one's watching? Because the field doesn't lie. You can say, I'm fine, but if your signal is anxiety, the world picks that up. You can write goals. But if your energy says, I don't believe this, the field responds accordingly. You've felt this in others too. The person who lights up a room just by entering, the friend who drains you with every call, the stranger who made you feel seen, even in silence. That's not magic. That's frequency. And your frequency shapes your fate. Not because the universe is judging you, but because it's always matching you, like a cosmic mirror reflecting what you're carrying. So before you chase, push, or manifest, pause and feel your field. Because the truth is, you're not just affected by energy, you are energy, and you are creating reality with it. Every single second, everything you see is vibrating, the chair beneath you, the light in your room. Even your body, a symphony of frequencies held in form. This isn't poetry, it's physics. At the subatomic level, there are no solid objects, only movement, only frequency, only energy and motion, and that includes you. Your thoughts carry charge, your emotions carry wavelength, your voice, your posture, your breath, all of it speaks in vibration. And here's the part that changes everything. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Because the universe is not a vending machine, it's a mirror field, and your vibration is the command. That's why a single moment of true gratitude can shift your entire day. That's why being around certain people either uplifts you or drains you to your core. Because energy is always exchanging, whether you notice or not. The ancients knew this long before the science caught up. In Vedic India, chakras were mapped as spinning energy centers, tuning the body to divine flow. In Chinese medicine, Qi determines life vitality. In Kabbalah, each of the 72 names of God is a frequency. In Andean spirituality, everything, from stones to stars, vibrates with Kosei, the sacred life force. These aren't myths. They are ancient technologies of alignment. But today, most people live completely unconscious of their signal. They consume junk for the body, noise for the mind, negativity for the soul, and then wonder why their life feels heavy. But once you see energy as real, everything changes. You stop blaming, you start tuning. Because frequency isn't just a spiritual idea, it's the language of creation. If you want to change your experience, you don't yell louder. You shift the dial, you raise your vibration, you clean your field. You choose energy that aligns with your truth, not your fear. Because vibration doesn't lie, and neither does the field that responds to it. You don't need to search for power. You're already radiating it. The question is, what signal are you sending? Because energy doesn't care about appearances. It responds to alignment. And once you understand this, you stop trying to force the external world and start mastering your internal field. So how do you raise your frequency without pretending or performing? Here are the sacred practices that activate the energy code from the inside out. 1. Sound is your tuning fork. Sound is vibration in its purest form. You've felt it. The song that brings tears, the chant that shifts the atmosphere. Use it. Mantras like Soham, or Ram aren't just words. They carry ancient vibrations. Singing, humming, drumming, all activate the energy body. Even silence, when intentional, becomes a vibrational cleanse. OM aligns you with the field of creation. Ram ignites willpower and protection. So Ham reminds you, I am that. Your voice is not just expression, it's activation. 2. Cleanse the field. You shower your skin, but when was the last time you cleansed your aura? Take salt baths with herbs like rosemary or lavender. Burn incense or sage in your home, not to smell good, but to shift frequency. Remove stagnant objects, clutter, or anything that drains your light. Your space speaks. Let it echo your soul, not your stress. 3. Use crystals as frequency. Allies crystals aren't magic trinkets. They're tools. Clear quartz amplifies intention. Amethyst connects you with subtle realms. Citrine strengthens confidence and personal power. Black tourmaline shields and grounds your field. Hold them. Wear them. Meditate with them. You don't need to believe. You only need to be open. 4. Protect your energy like it's sacred. Because it is. Say no to draining conversations. Limit your exposure to chaos, digital or human. Surround yourself with people who nourish your field, not fracture it. Energy is not about being positive all the time. It's about being true and refusing to stay stuck in low frequencies. Yes, feel your anger. Yes, grieve fully. But then, move it, express it, release it, transform it. Stagnant energy becomes sickness, but expressed energy becomes power. 5. Feed the light. Everything you consume becomes part of your signal. This includes food, media, words, thoughts. Eat clean. Read soul-aligned wisdom. Speak blessings, not curses, especially over yourself. You are not just receiving energy. You're transmitting it into every room you enter. And the most beautiful truth? When you begin to raise your frequency, you don't need to go looking for opportunities, people, or breakthroughs. They find you because the universe is not judging your worth. It's responding to your signal. And when that signal becomes clear, aligned, and alive, the field around you begins to change, not with effort, but with resonance. You are not here to chase. You are here to attract what matches your truth. So tune in, lift the signal, and watch what arrives. What if everything you call reality is actually a mirror? Not a fixed thing, not an objective truth, but a projection shaped by what you hold inside. It sounds wild, but look closer. Have you ever noticed how the world changes based on how you feel? When you're in love, life feels magical. When you're anxious, everything seems threatening. When you're confident, doors open. When you're afraid, even the air feels heavy. Same world, different lens. That lens is your mind, not just your conscious thoughts, but your memories, beliefs, wounds, and expectations. And that mind is constantly casting signals onto the screen of your life. You are not just seeing reality, you are generating it. Not from thin air, but from your internal state. From the field of perception you live inside every day. Most people don't realize this. They think life is happening to them, but life is actually happening through them. Every frustration, every pattern, every cycle that repeats isn't just random. It's a reflection of something unhealed, unseen, or unaligned inside. It's the reality code, quietly mirroring your inner software. This is not guilt, it's power. Because once you understand that reality is a reflection, you stop blaming and start creating. You stop reacting to the world and start rewriting the script behind it. And suddenly what once felt like chaos begins to look like a message, not a punishment, not an accident, but a signal inviting you to wake up. Because what you see out there is always echoing what's going on in here. That argument, that delay, that breakthrough, that opportunity. None of it is random, it's data. And when you begin to pay attention, you realize you've been in a conversation with the universe your whole life. You just didn't know how to listen until now. The world you see isn't just happening, it's being projected by you. Not just by what you want, but by what you expect, what you fear, what you believe is possible, and what you secretly don't. Your mind isn't just a receiver, it's a projector, and reality is the screen. This is what mystics, philosophers, and quantum thinkers have all echoed. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Jung. Because underneath your conscious goals is an entire field of beliefs, shaped by childhood, culture, trauma, repetition. This field becomes the filter through which you perceive life. And over time, it becomes the blueprint that life reflects back to you. So when something keeps repeating, a certain kind of relationship, a money pattern, a recurring conflict. Ask yourself, what belief am I unknowingly projecting that invites this to return? Most people never ask that. They fight the symptom without ever seeing the source. But when you awaken the reality code, you begin to rewrite that source. Because here's what changes the game. You are not bound by your past. You are bound only by the story you keep telling yourself about your past. And stories can be reauthored. That's where imagination comes in. Imagination is not fantasy. It's frequency construction. It's your inner world teaching the field how to respond. The thought you hold, the emotion you feel, the image you repeat, these combine to form a vibrational signal, and the field responds to that, not to your wishes. So when you imagine something with clarity, when you feel it as already real, when you align your energy with that vision, you begin to bend reality from the inside out. Not through force, but through frequency. Because reality isn't asking for control, it's asking for coherence. And coherence begins with the belief that you are not a spectator. You are a creator. Your job is not to fight what you see, it's to understand what it's showing you, and then to change the image inside the projector. That's the work. That's the code. There comes a moment when you realize you're not just living inside a story, you're writing it. And if you want to change the plot, you don't chase the characters or fight the scenes. You change the script within. Because the mind is the projector, reality is the projection, and what you feed the film determines what shows up on the screen. So how do you become the coder of your life, not just the responder? Here are the sacred tools to begin shaping your reality consciously. 1. Script the new narrative. Start every morning by writing what you want to feel, not what you want to have, but how you want to experience life. Write it in the present tense. I am open, I am magnetic, I move with ease. I meet the right people, I trust the unfolding. I am ready. You're not making a wish list, you're installing new beliefs, because writing isn't just expression, it's reprogramming. 2. Visualize with emotion. Don't just see your vision, feel it. Where are you? What do you smell? How does your body react? The brain doesn't distinguish between a real memory and a vividly imagined one. So when you rehearse your desired future with emotion, you begin to train your field to recognize it and respond to it. Visualization is the language of vibration. 3. Interrupt the default program. You don't have to believe every thought you think. You don't have to accept every emotion as truth. When an old script shows up, I'm not enough. It always goes wrong. This never works. Pause, speak aloud. This is an old code, I choose something new. This one declaration breaks the spell. You stop running loops and start installing freedom. 4. Use mirrors as teachers. Next time something triggers you, pause and ask, what is this showing me about what I believe? Is it scarcity, unworthiness, fear of abandonment? Don't shame it, don't spiritualize it, just see it. Because once you witness the pattern without judgment, you stop being its prisoner. You start becoming its rewriter. 5. Align attention with intention. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. So if you want to change your field, you must guard your focus like your soul depends on it. Cut distractions that dilute your signal. Focus on what you want to grow. Speak what you want to build. Surround yourself with people who mirror your higher vision. Because the universe is always listening, not to your words, but to your vibration. And when that vibration is consistent, clear, and aligned, life begins to echo it back to you in ways that feel like magic. But it's not magic. It's you, becoming the coder you were always meant to be. From the moment you were born, there was a pulse inside you, a signature, a gift, a light that didn't come from this world, but was meant for it. You didn't earn it. You didn't learn it. You were it. But then the world arrived with its rules. Be like this. Don't act like that. Tone it down. Fit in. Be useful. Be safe. And slowly you began to forget. Not all at once, but in pieces. The story you told with your drawings, the way you danced when no one was watching, the strange dreams that made you feel more alive than real life. They were tucked away, buried beneath performance, beneath pressure, beneath survival. But the thing about the soul is, it never stops whispering. And no matter how deep you bury your essence, it waits. It pulses beneath your achievements. It calls from the edges of your burnout. Sometimes it shows up as restlessness, that feeling that something's missing, even when you're winning. Sometimes it comes as longing, an ache to do something meaningful, even if you don't know what that is. And sometimes it comes as a breakdown, a collapse of everything that was never really you. That's not failure. That's the personal code trying to rise again. Because your soul doesn't care about titles. It doesn't care about how impressive your life looks from the outside. It only wants one thing: for you to remember what you were before the world taught you who to be. That's the gift. It's not always flashy. It might not make sense on a resume. But when you touch it, you feel something come alive again. You don't just feel useful, you feel true. Because this code isn't just about passion or purpose, it's about essence. The real you, unmasked, unapologetic, unrepeatable. And the moment you stop running from it is the moment life starts running toward you. Your soul didn't arrive here empty. It came with a map, a pattern, a code, not of what you should become, but of who you already are beneath the noise. In the Vedas, they call this dharma, not a job, not a duty, but the soul's natural way of expressing truth. In astrology, it shows as planetary archetypes, cosmic fingerprints imprinted at birth. In numerology, it lives in the energy of your birth date and name. In human design, it unfolds as energetic mechanics of decision and flow. These systems don't give you your identity. They reveal what you already knew, but forgot. Because the personal code is not something you find. It's something you remember. And remembering begins with reflection. What did you do with ease as a child? What made time disappear? What did you feel called to, even if others didn't understand? That's a clue. What pain did you survive that shaped your compassion? What did life force you to learn that others now come to you for? That's another clue. Because the gift is often hidden beneath the wound. The very thing you had to overcome becomes the thing you help others walk through. That's the paradox. The gold is buried in the shadow, and the code gets activated when you stop hiding it. The archetypes. Each person carries a different frequency of service. The healer, who brings peace through presence. The creator, who turns ideas into beauty. The guide, who speaks truth others can't yet see. The alchemist, who transforms pain into wisdom. The bridge, who unites what others divide. There are many forms, but one soul signature, yours. And once you find it, not as a concept, but as a living rhythm, everything begins to align. Not because life becomes easier, but because life starts matching your essence. Realignment. This is why some people succeed but still feel lost. Because success in the wrong direction is just another form of exile. You can master a role, wear a perfect mask, but if your soul is not included, the fulfillment will never stay. The personal code brings you back to source. It reminds you that you're not here to be a copy, you're here to be a signal. Unfiltered, unrehearsed, unmistakably you. So don't ask, what should I do with my life? Ask, what part of me has always been there, even when I wasn't listening? That's the real path. Not forward, but inward. You don't need to become something great. You just need to stop hiding what's already great within you. Because your personal code isn't about being better than others. It's about becoming more you, in a world that taught you to forget. So how do you activate this code? How do you live from the inside out, not the outside in? You don't have to quit your life. You have to realign it, one truth at a time. Here are sacred practices to help you return to essence. 1. Write to yourself from the soul. Get still. Breathe. Close your eyes and ask, what do I need to remember about who I am? Then write. Let the pen move without thinking. This is not journaling. It's soul correspondence. You'll be surprised what the voice inside has been waiting to say. 2. Reclaim the hidden joy. What did you stop doing because it wasn't useful? What part of you did you silence because it was too weird? Start there. Paint, dance, build, heal, teach. It doesn't matter what the world calls it. If it makes your soul light up, then it's part of your original code. And the moment you give it breath again, life begins to move differently. 3. Follow the friction. The places that make you feel like you don't belong, those are clues. Your gift often lives in the very space you felt rejected. Ask, what quality have I always toned down to feel accepted? Now turn it back up. That's your signal trying to come back online. 4. Stop copying, start expressing. You weren't designed to follow formulas. You're here to be a frequency, not a replica. So when you create, create from essence. When you speak, speak from the marrow. When you serve, serve from the core of your truth, not what's trending. That's when the code activates, not when you mimic, but when you remember. 5. Make space for stillness. Sometimes the clearest messages come in silence. So walk, meditate, sit by a window, light a candle and just breathe. Let the noise clear long enough for your own voice to rise again. Because the code is not found in the world's noise. It's revealed in the stillness of your soul. And remember this, the world doesn't need another perfect mask. It needs your real face, the one you buried to survive, the one that holds the gift. You are not here to fix yourself. You are here to express yourself as only you can. And when you do, life begins to rearrange itself around your signal. You don't have to search outside yourself. You've already touched the codes. The moment time disappeared in flow, the moment you felt energy just by being near someone, the moment you sensed life was mirroring something deeper, the moment an old passion whispered your name again, that was not a coincidence. That was contact. The codes were never far away. They were always within you, waiting for you to notice. Because you are not disconnected. You're just distracted. But distraction is not destiny. Presence is always a choice. And the more you listen, the more you start to see. The time code is with you in moments of stillness, slowness, and surrender. The energy code is moving through your body, your space, your frequency. The reality code is responding to the thoughts you believe and the emotions you repeat. The personal code is guiding you through what makes you light up and what won't let you go. These 4 aren't separate. They're not phases. They are threads in a single pattern, a pattern that is you. Some days you'll be called to slow down. That's time. Some days you'll be nudged to clear your field. That's energy. Some days you'll feel the pull to rewrite your story. That's reality. And some days, something ancient inside you will rise. That's your personal code awakening. The codes don't compete. They collaborate. They cycle. They guide. Your job is not to force them, but to stay aware of which one is speaking right now. Because every phase of your life is ruled by a different key, and each code, when honored, opens the next. You are not meant to master them all at once. You are meant to move with them, like seasons. This is not a system. It's a remembrance that your life is not chaos. It's a sacred conversation. And when you learn to listen to the codes, you stop surviving. You begin to align. The codes are not abstract. They're not ideas to admire from a distance. They're meant to be lived. And the bridge between knowing and living is ritual. You don't need to change your life overnight. You just need to start showing up differently to the moments within it. Here are simple but sacred ways to activate the codes every single day. 1. Breathe into time, time code. 3 times a day, stop, close your eyes, and take 3 deep, intentional breaths. Let everything else fall away. Use the 4 to 7, 8 breath. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. This anchors you into Chyros, sacred time, even if just for a minute, because presence bends time, and your breath is the key. 2. Walk barefoot in the morning, energy code. Before the world grabs you, let the earth hold you. Walk barefoot on grass. Feel the temperature, the texture, the stillness. This simple act grounds your energy field, recalibrates your vibration, and reminds your body that it belongs to the natural rhythm of life. Nature already lives in frequency. When you're with it, you remember yours. 3. Script your day as if it's already aligned. Reality code. Each morning, write down the day as you want to feel it, not your to-do list, but your state. Today, I move with clarity. My conversations are nourishing. I trust the unexpected. This isn't fantasy. It's a vibrational primer. Your energy reads it. Your subconscious believes it. The field responds to it. 4. Feed the flame of you, personal code. Each week, return to your gift, even if only for 10 minutes. Draw, write, dance, guide, build, listen. Do something that makes you feel like yourself again, even if no one sees it, even if it goes nowhere. Because every time you engage your gift, you reinforce your signal. And when your signal is strong, life begins to orbit around it. 5. Create a moment of stillness before sleep. End your day the way it began, with presence. Sit, breathe, reflect. Ask, which code spoke to me today? Where did I ignore it? Where did I listen? This single reflection realigns your compass, and over time builds a life designed from the inside out. These rituals aren't chores, they're remembrances. They're how you shift from autopilot to alignment, from chaos to rhythm, from forgetting to living as the code itself. Start with one, stay with it, and watch what begins to rise, not just around you, but within you. You came here searching for something, maybe clarity, maybe healing, maybe a way to make life feel sacred again. But what you found was not something outside you, it was you. The codes were never separate. They were you all along. The way you move through time, the signal you emit through your presence, the reality you reflect through your inner world, the gift you carry in your essence. These aren't tools, they're truths. And the more you live them, the less you chase, the less you doubt. The more life begins to mirror your alignment. Because when you shift from surviving to vibrating, from reacting to projecting, from copying to embodying, the world doesn't just change, it responds. So remember this, you are not here to hack the universe. You are here to tune into it, to walk with it, to co-create from the inside out. You are not the seeker, you are the signal, not the student, but the oracle, not the follower, but the flame, not the spectator, but the mirror, not the imposter, but the seed. The codes are not something you use. They are something you become. And when you live from that place, time bends, energy lifts, reality aligns, and your gift becomes your legacy. So now, rise, not with noise, but with frequency, not with pressure,